Hey guys, today we're breaking down Marianne's episode about love and miracles and how to be open so that miracles can come. I also share my caretaking advice. If you have a family member in the hospital, this is a must listen. You guys know I've gone through it and I am pretty good at it right now. So tune in. Don't forget to subscribe. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Better Together. Well, you know better, you get better. That's what we do here. Our quote of the day is from Marianne Williamson, since we're going to be breaking down her episode. Our little chat was just amazing. Spiritual growth involves giving up the stories of your past so the universe can write a new one. Come on now.
Right?
Come on now. Spiritual growth involves giving up the stories of your past so the universe can write a new one. Shit. That's good.
I know.
That's really good. Hi, Heal Squad. Love you guys. Today we're talking all things Marianne. Obviously, we had an incredible conversation with her, as we usually do. I just sit there kind of and listen, and then I'm like, yeah, I love that. Shit. It's like you have to take it all in every time she talks. You're like, oh, yeah. And in the middle of it, you're getting chills, but you don't want to keep stopping and be like, I'm getting chills right now, but I was getting chills right now.
There's a lot to unpack when she speaks. It's like, whoa, wait,
yeah.
what? Like, oh my gosh.
It's so funny, by the way, here in studio, I feel like I keep hearing a phone buzzing. Is a phone buzzing in there, maybe on a microphone?
No, both of us are on Do Not Disturb.
It's like a phone is on vibrate continuously behind me.
There are phones in the office.
I might be hearing it through the wall.
That's weird.
Because it's going to be like a vibrating.
Yeah. Oh, that's strange.
So strange.
I don't know. So maybe it's a ghost.
Well, we had a song called Give Up the Ghost. That's so funny.
You had a song called Give Up the Ghost?
Yeah.
Can you
Have
sing
you
it
never
for us?
heard our music?
No.
What?
Who's our?
Me and Kevin made music
No, you didn't.
that I couldn't put out because of
Humans.
I was on nightly news at the time. That really wouldn't have worked. But let's see, music projects. Oh, I have my Kook song. I did a song with Kook Harrell.
Oh my God.
Did you not know that?
No.
Kook Harrell and I did a song together, and he told me I had perfect pitch or tone or something like that. His like mixer too. But
okay, give me a B flat.
I don't know how to do that. But let's see. Let's see. Here we go. Kook Harrell. Oh no, that's different. Let's see if it's this one. Oh my God. Hold on. But me and Kevin had different music. This is the one with Kook.
And I'm thinking about your name. Your temperature's way too dangerous for me.
What does this remind me of?
Got delusions in my brain. Baby, you got me feeling no shame. Your fire's contagious, baby, give it to me. I'll never love another. Your kisses feel like thunder.
You will rescue me.
God. Who was that about?
I don't know. Someone else wrote it.
Oh.
But we had really cool music. And one of the songs was Give Up the Ghost, which is so funny. I got to find our music. Omega Girl. No, not there. I can't believe you've never heard our music.
Never, ever.
Oh, you're going to die. It's kind of fun.
Oh, I can't wait.
We called it Smart Pop. And it was before Lady Gaga. And Kevin was going to have me dress up in costumes where nobody would ever know it was me, which is so hilarious because then she popped out and Kevin goes, I fucking did it again. I came up with an idea. You snoozed, you lose. I'm like, I'm not Lady Gaga, honey.
Yeah, you're like I'm good, thank you. Wow.
Yeah.
Did he sing?
No, he helped write it and slept on basements with musicians to like get it done, and then nothing ever happened with it. But we did put it in one of our movies. Omega Girl music. Maria music. Let's see. I love how the show just takes a turn.
I know.
But
I love it.
Maybe it'll be another episode and I will find all of our music to share with you guys. But let me see. Maybe I'm on it could be in my actual, no, it's not in my genres. Vocal, nope. Eartha Kitt is not me. Spoken word is not me. Singer-songwriter is not me. We'll find it.
We'll find it.
Pooja's going to make
What a
me
treat.
find it. But yeah.
Oh my God, how fun. How do we get there? How do we get onto this?
Because you were talking about ghosts.
Oh,
and then
that's
I just
right.
thought of a
That's
song.
right.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, we'll find it and play it for you guys. But that was a fun one you played.
Hey, it is fun.
I like it. It reminds me of something, like from some movie or some, I don't know. It'll come to me. I like it. Okay, wait. Before unpacking Marianne, though, I think we should unpack your little caretaking tips and your like caretaking mini survival guide, because we packed it into like about 10 minutes, and like it's so incredible how much like you have to offer from what you've been through. I mean, you just like listed off like bam, 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 bam in like a short 10 to 15 minutes. So I would love you to elaborate on that for people who, like you said, so many people are going through similar things right now. And I think it's like, I don't know. I'm not saying this well, but I think it's like you went through this all and it was such a blur for you. And now you're like kind of through it on the other end and you're able to help others through it. So like for someone else going through it, it's like, how do they stay afloat? What are some other things like you can offer? It's like, I was just kind of blown away. I'm reading back in my notes. I'm like, damn.
Well, I'm like in the throes of it again, coaching my cousin. And the great thing about my cousin is he's really open. And he doesn't have an ego, and he's not like territorial, and he's collaborative, and that's really helpful, right? So I'll give you kind of my favorite moment. So just before we started this, I checked in and I said, hey, I don't see anything on the text thread about Kevin delivering the mattress. Cause I said, make sure you guys give him the address, time and place. Where does he have to bring it? Because we have my mom's alternating mattress to share. I literally have tried to give this to so many people. I don't know how, like, it's over $1,000, this thing, and it's so friggin' magical for people. Anyway, he said, it's so frustrating. They said they were going to have everything in place. Of course, unless you do it yourself, like you said, it's not going to be there. So he didn't get put on the alternating mattress because apparently they said they have one and they don't need ours, which great. If they don't need ours, fine. But he was transferred to this new facility. And by the way, everyone has given this facility rave reviews, including the nice nurse that was there, who everybody said was kind of the best one there. She's like, I used to work there. They're incredible. Now,
that's great to hear.
Nurses don't generally throw bouquets. Like I know hospice to hospice, we had hospice people who were like, oh, we worked at that old hospice and it was a disaster. And I'm like, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So they're pretty honest when it comes to that stuff. So my favorite moment is when he realized, just like you said, we have to do it all ourselves. I could see him becoming empowered before my eyes where he was like, I have to step in. So I said, Pete, please, you've got to get nutrition into his body. You have to get nutrition so that he's fortified and he's strong. So I sent him some of the smoothie recipes that we did for my mom. I said, run it by his doctor because I don't know him like I know my mom. So I don't want to get him in any trouble. Like I have vitamin A in there and I have different things. What if vitamin A is, going to be a problem with some of his heart medication? So I am like, just run it by his doctor, but you have to get this in him. You've got to get nutrition in him. He's got to sleep. We need an anxiety pill. Both my dad and he have a lot of anxiety, but they come from a village. Like they didn't know what anxiety was. And he's really scared to die. Like my mom wasn't scared. And so you want to make sure he's calm. And so they finally got that in place. They called in the prescription. And there's anxiety meds that interfere with asthma. So he has asthma. So apparently they'd put him on lorazepam, and lorazepam's not good with asthma, which is good to know. And so now they're putting him on something else. I'm like, we got to get him on an anxiety pill in the evening. Now, during the day, it might make them a little wonky. During the day, you want your patient, you want to be able to have them be alert so you can see and hear and feel and know anything that's going on with them. That's the only way. Like even with dogs, when they give us pain medicines, we're really careful when we use the pain medicines because we want the dog to show us what's happening inside. If they're knocked out or they're kind of like, they look dead already, your energy is now going to think the dog is dying and you're going to be terrified. Same thing with a human. So we've also had a lot of experience in the canine world that's extended into the human world, where we've learned fortifying the body and countering the effects of medicines with vitamins and stuff is really helpful. So I said, we got to get him something like in the evening when he's not going to be trying to do rehab and moving so that he's calm and then it helps lull him to sleep. I said some CBD oil. If there's anything inflammatory in there, which he has asthma, he can't breathe, there's inflammation. Some CBD oil will be really helpful. We need to get him to sleep. We need noise canceling earphones. We need an eye mask. We need to shut the curtains, shut the lights, put instructions on the wall. Someone has to be the point person with a notebook, writing everything they're saying down and being thoughtful to say, okay, we're adding this medicine. Is there anything on his current list? Let me remind you of the current list that this could interact with, because sometimes they don't even have time to look at that. You'd think that they do. They're not God. They need help too. You have to be the advocate. And so we need nutrition, we need sleep, we need calmness, and we need the alternating mattress. Apparently they use HOCl in this facility.
Oh, no way.
So they said that they're evaluating him. So the HOCl is what Briotech is. And I talked about that in the last episode. Briotech helps heal wounds. It kills bacteria. It's the most magical product I've ever experienced in my life. We used it to protect us from COVID. It kills COVID. I mean, all of this stuff, it's like so great. It's really great on your skin, everything.
I've literally used it on my acne. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, when Max kissed me and I got all these little, like my skin for some reason got super inflamed and allergic, and all of my skin from here down was whiteheads, like crazy. And
Maximus.
So I sprayed it and it took 2 days, but it like dried everything out because it has a little sodium in there, dried everything out. And now I'm better, thank God. But,
Lauren has a cold. My roommate has a cold. So I've been walking around with and thank God it's not COVID, but I've been walking around with my multi-surface, like spraying door handles, light switches, everything.
Did she get tested?
Everything. Yes.
You're sure?
Yeah. 100%. Because she had to for work, but
okay, good.
Spraying everything. And anyways, it's game changer. So this place uses it.
Yeah. And so, apparently they do. I mean, guys, sometimes you have to fib. You have to remember that at the end of the day, if you don't advocate for your patient and if you don't ball up, that's like my terminology now. I'm like, ball up. It's life and death. And do you want to cowtail and be like, oh, they said I can't use this, and then your patient dies? Or do you want to ball up and be like, no, I demand it. What do I have to sign? I need this. Or you have to fib. Sometimes a good fib, when you know it's safe, is what you have to do. So I said, put the HOCl in a clear little bottle and tell them it's holy water from the church and spray it on him. So there was somebody who had bed sores, severe bed sores for 2 years. And the Briotech healed them in less than a month. So you heavily drench the area with the HOCl, let it air dry, and then that starts to heal whatever wound it is. It's good for the thrush on the tongue. This stuff is like just unbelievable. So I was like, we got to do the Brio. We got to do the air mattress. We need nutrition. We need sleep. We need the anxiety medicine. And the pain pills, I said Tylenol during the day. So he's alert, right? And then the stronger stuff at night because we want him to sleep. So noise canceling headphones, eye pillow, or like a warm compress. And that's how your patient is going to get better. And then making sure you have a food schedule so that any, bathroom stuff happens before nighttime, before like 9 p.m. so that they can go to bed. And you also need the external catheter situation so that they are dry and clean. So I had to figure this stuff out on my own, and some of it I learned with people, obviously, like when 24-hour home care, 24-hour home care.
Yeah, you're right.
Came in. They brought in a nurse to train everybody because my mom really needed like specific care. Also, you cannot assume that the caregivers know everything. There's different levels of care for everybody. And when you have somebody who's critical, doesn't just need bathing and changing. You have someone who's critical, you need next level care. So when my mom was discharged to me, I thought, oh, this little nurse just knows what to do. And she didn't. And so when I called 24-hour home care, they literally jumped right in. Ryan Iwamoto was like, I got it. This is what we're going to do. Your mom needs another level of care that was not explained to them before she got discharged to us. And they jumped right into it. And so certain things I learned from them because it is super overwhelming. It is a lot to become a nurse and a doctor overnight, which is what has to happen when you are now in charge of someone's care at home. And so some things I learned from there, but some things were like me being a producer and a type A and a problem solver being like, okay, hemorrhoids. Okay. These are excruciatingly painful. What do we do? What do we do? Oh, CBD oil. CBD oil takes inflammation down. This is going to be magic. Let's try it. How is it going to hurt? So you have to have balls and be brave sometimes and be bold sometimes and try things. And so, by the way, if you ever deal with hemorrhoids, CBD oil is magic. Obviously, you need the best kind that has like all the things. I forget which one we used. I think it might have been the Altwell.
I think it was Altwell. Yeah.
Which we have a link to and Shop My Favorites for too.
Right.
But you got to use your common sense. But the only way your patient lives is if you give them your everything. It really is hard to just, in general, lay anything in anybody's hands. A financial advisor, you got to be all over it. You got to watch the account numbers. Whose account is it going to and which account number is that and how much and when and does this feel right for me? Whatever it is, you are in charge. You cannot think anyone's going to do it for you, even your healthcare. It doesn't mean that they're not amazing at what they do. But even the hospital, someone said, one of the nurses or doctors said, listen, we're just keeping a pulse. And oh my God, fucking said that. Oh my God. So, and just like anything else, you get good mechanics, you get bad mechanics. You get good doctors, you get not so great doctors. It's like, it just is what it is. You have to be the one. And so I feel like we're headed in a better direction. And what I'm kind of coaching them through is starting to get through. And what I said to him last night, I said, we're not far from where we were. Like just days ago, they were discharging him and he was great. Not great, but like good. So there is a decline happening, but it doesn't mean we can't re-steer the ship. And so, those are the things like if you've got somebody who's in the hospital that you have to be aware of, like, and somebody's got to be there all the time. With my mom, we couldn't physically be there because COVID rules were different then, but I was on FaceTime with her 24 hours a day. And 7 days a week. I took her to work with me. I took her wherever I was. I brought her.
And I was with Maria, so I can vouch for that because it's true.
Yeah.
When Maria was in the shower, I would sit there with Lisa.
Yeah. Because I had her outside the shower and I knew one moment was going to happen where I was going to have to run out and the doctors were going to see me naked and I wasn't going to pay attention because I was going to panic and then out were boobies and it was going to be crazy. I'm like, Kelsey, can you just pinch it for me for the 3-minute shower?
Right.
But I slept with her. I woke up with her. Mm-hmm. And then when a doctor lied and said, oh, we're going to discharge her. She's doing so much better. She's, responsive and this and that. I said, that's really funny because I never met you. And she said, what do you mean? I said, well, I've been on 24-hour FaceTime with my mom this whole time. I said, I know every nurse and every doctor who's come through. I've never met you. In fact, you've never been in my mom's room. And she was like, and she goes, They let you do that? We have to see if that's appropriate, if the nurses allowed that. I go, it was actually one of their ideas, actually, so I could be with my mom and keep her brain stimulated because she has brain cancer. And, being alone in a hospital is not going to really give us a good outcome. I mean, she lied bold-faced to me.
I forgot about that. Mm-hmm.
And so people aren't above that.
Yeah.
And so, again, they're just people.
And they're just people.
At the end of the day, who studied more than us, who we're incredibly grateful for, but there are some that aren't great.
Right.
And so no matter what, you don't leave anything in anybody else's hands that's important to you, whether it's money, family, you have to be all over it. So that was the other thing my cousin's ex was saying to him is like, one of you has to be the point person and we have to have shifts. People have to be here. So.
No, I think it's, thank you, because I think that, it's something I'm sitting here, I'm like, God, Maria should teach a course in this because it's something that not a lot of people know. And then they're thrown into these situations and it's like, how do you stay above water? I
know.
It's like,
I know the hard thing is, and I thought about it and I will do it. The hard thing about it is who's going to think of going and taking this course? When you're in the throes of it, it's crazy. I know how exhausting it is. I know how scary it is. I know how paralyzing it is. I just don't know if someone's going to think, oh, Maria has a course or Maria has a thing. I mean, I'll do it anyway just to have, and hopefully it will spread and people will look at it before they get into a situation, right? So you're prepared. I always say better to be prepared and not have had the opportunity than to be met with the opportunity and not be prepared.
Ooh,
so,
I like that.
Yeah. I think it's so important. We're all going to have those moments. And you're going to have to make fast decisions. And so I said to my cousin, let me be your sounding board. Let me help you make the best decisions possible. Let's put our heads together because you shouldn't do it alone. And if you are dealing with a family member who's in the hospital, who's sick, find your board, right? You need your board of directors.
Right. And don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
Don't think you can do it all alone.
Yeah, you can't. When you're emotional, because my cousin was like, I could tell. He was in a tornado of just... The doctors had just said some really scary stuff to him. He's having to deliver news to family, and family's freaking out, of course, because he went from good to bad very quick. And it was super emotional. And I said, okay, listen, you're not going to also make the best decisions right now because you're overwhelmed with emotion and this is hard. So let's work on it together. Let me help you. And then, we'll go from there. So it's a lot, guys. It's a lot.
Well, thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you.
And
meanwhile, I'm seeing texts fly right now, so I think the mattress thing is happening.
Oh, good.
Let's see.
Good. What I was going to say too, I feel like, for our listeners, share this with anyone who you think it could help. Like Maria said, when you're in the throes of all this stuff, you don't really have time to even come up to breathe. So it's I've had family friends who have had to be caretakers or friends' moms, and I've sent them some of our episodes. I'm like, listen to this. So, Maria's deep in her learning.
Okay, so we're hearing that the bed sores are more shearing than sores, meaning they screwed up moving, but another person's looking at it. And they have an air mattress that's going on tonight.
What's that? What's shearing versus sores?
Hold on, here we go. Catherine, amazing. Tell them he doesn't need to be moved every 2 hours on the alternating mattress at night so he can sleep. So maybe between the hours of 10 and 7, no moving, let him sleep. And then during the day, every 2 hours. That's what I did with my mom. Okay, guys, if you...
Real time.
Yeah, real time messages. My head was splitting yesterday from all the panic because... Listen, we're coming up on the holidays. They're already going to be challenging because we don't have my mom. And I feel like I'm just starting to turn the corner of deep sorrow to manageable. I think part of that is my work with Brian Mahan. And part of that is the fact that I got to communicate and connect with her through Marianne DeMarco. But whatever the case, I feel like we're already going to have a hard holiday. Like I was like last night, please, dear God, like none of us can really handle this right now. And I'm like, Mom, make this happen. And my mom loved him so much. I was like, don't you try taking him from us.
Oh my God.
You have enough people up there. You don't need him right now. Keep him here. Let's get through the holidays.
Exactly.
And then, not that I want it to happen after the holidays either, but please, for my dad's sake, for all of our sake, can we just get through the holidays? And then it's like hard because I have work coming up and I'm scared because I'm traveling to Amsterdam and me and Kevin haven't had a vacation in years and we've just come off of 5 years. My cousins are going on 2 weeks of this and it's excruciating. 5 years of caretaking and not being able to have any time as a couple. Like we were going to, add our little trip on to Italy and get to just reconnect. And so now I'm like, all of this is in jeopardy.
Well, did you learn anything from Marianne today about optimism in the future?
Yes, please remind me.
Okay, well, let's go back here.
Because here's what happens in real time, guys. In real time, you start going down your rabbit holes and you need this little pick-me-up. So give me my pick-me-up.
So this is what really spoke to me, especially after you guys will hear Allison Stoner's episode in a couple weeks. We filmed it with her the other day. And one of her main takeaways that really hit me was that things can be both and. And that was similar to what Marianne was saying. It's like something can be horrible, both horrible and can have a happy ending when you look back at it, 5 years down the road. So Marianne talking about every horrible thing that's happened, you go down to come up. The good always follows the bad. And so that's what she was saying. She's like, we're so, in this mind space, we're trained with our society to go negative, but it's like, there's always good at the end. So she was saying the crucifixion, what happened after that? There's good after the bad. So that's what I wrote. I literally wrote bad to arrow good.
Yeah.
And applying love.
Love is the hard thing about applying that to death is I understand through pain comes growth, through growth comes reward, let's say, right? And I know that every challenging thing that I've dealt with in my life has brought me to a better place. But death is final, right?
That's true.
Yes, we're connected and we're still, my mom's still with me. But it is hard when death is so final in the physical world.
Right.
To think that there's something good that comes after.
Yeah. I think
my mom's death doesn't to me, I don't see anything good that comes from my mom's death technically.
Right. Except for I look at you now and I think that, it's not that it was good that she died, but now you're getting to use her in another sense, in another light. She's guiding you in another way from another place to help you kind of come into this new space you're coming into. I do think that when you're in the throes of it, it's so, and if this was my mom, I would not be saying this, but I might have someone on the outside saying this to me, and it's so I do think it's so hard to see that, but what she was saying with giving the 5 minutes to God every morning and he's going to guide you through the day and trusting that if we're giving love, we're open, we're, not closed off. I don't know. I think that good things do come of that instead of saying in a closed space, but it is hard when it's death. It's
no, you make lemonade of everything. We're going to make lemonade of everything. Marianne in my session with my mom was saying, my mom said that I have to keep doing the work that we talked about, keep helping people. And she said that I'm here to save people and help people. And so, yes, I'm going to continue to honor our work and I'm going to continue to share the message that I have to share and help people.
Yeah.
So, I told my mom that when she was in her final days, I said, Mom, I'm not going to let you die in vain. I'm going to help other people. Fuck.
But you are. You were in I think, God, it's so hard. And this is reminding me of, we have the Dyer sisters episode coming up, Marianne, their book was like really speaking to me, and I was thinking
Me
of
too.
you know.
Oh, that book was so great. You know what I loved about that book? When they said, I think it was their dad, Wayne, that said, you choose how long you want to be sad. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I love that. Because I was like, oh, am I choosing to wallow? Maybe I am choosing a little wallowing. Right? So I really like that. But again, it's hard to, you can make lemonade, but there's no good that comes from their death.
Right. No, I don't think so either.
I can't find the good in my mom being gone and not with me.
Yeah, I don't think it's
other than I have an angel. Yes, we have all the ways to kind of like rationalize.
Yeah, or shift the mindset.
Shift.
Yeah,
yes, we have all the tools to survive it.
Right.
And thrive, right? Yes, I'm free. My mom is free. That's a cool thing. She said she's finally free. And guess what? I'm finally free too. Right. And so I've never in my life not had to worry about one or the other, my dad or my mom. And right now, my dad is taken care of. And so I don't have that everyday worry. I've also learned that I was worrying in an unhealthy manner because my mom taught me to be unhealthily attached. And so when you are so overly worried about somebody that isn't worrying about themselves as much, then they can just rely on you.
Right.
And now that's super unhealthy. And so I'm like, Dad, you know what to do. I've given you all the tools. You have every mechanism. You have the Dexcom. You've got your tandem. You've got a caretaker. You have everything. I am not going to sit up at night and wonder if you're okay or not. I just can't live my life like that anymore. So I've made healthy new choices and healthy new patterns. Thank you, Brian Mahan, that have been good for me. But it is the first time in my entire life that I have not had to live in fight or flight and worry about keeping a parent alive. And that is very freeing and exciting. Would I rather have my mom?
Yes, of course. Yeah. Yeah, I know. And I think that that's always going to be that way, right? There's never that's never going to not be the case. And that's the hardest thing where it's like, there's no words to that because of course you're always going to want that. Yeah. But I think that you're leading in such an amazing example for everyone out there who has lost someone or with someone who's sick right now. And like, hey, it's always going to be shitty. And of course I'm always going to want my mom, but look what I'm doing and look what I'm gaining and look at this new connection I've made with her. So it's like you're helping to show that path. And I just think that that's something that, you could always look back to and be like, damn, I really am helping. Like you and your mom always talked about.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're always going to want her.
Do we find the quote, what is a miracle?
Pooch Nation?
Or are we still looking for it now?
No, I have it. I don't know if it's the exact one that you wanted, but this is what the Course in Miracles says. It says, the definition of a miracle in A Course in Miracles is a correction in perception. It removes the blocks of fear and guilt in the mind, allowing a glimpse of timeless joy. The prayer for a miracle asks the Holy Spirit for this shift in perception.
Yeah, she described it a little differently, but I think it's the same thing. It's kind of setting aside the fear.
Right.
I think it's like faith over fear. Basically.
Faith over fear.
Which is and I think hard. With my mom, we had a million miracles. By the way, my dad, we had a million miracles. My dogs, we had a million miracles. If I look at the truth underlying all the pain is we had millions of miracles, but I also super believed in them. And up until my mom's last breath, I believed that she could still have another miracle. I did say that, I didn't know when her time was up, right? Everybody has their time. But I said, if it isn't her time, then that means we're getting a miracle. Remember? Like all the way. I'm like, it ain't over till the fat lady sings.
It's true that. But I think that's key. You have to be open.
And even when they pronounced her dead, I was like looking at her. I'm like, is she going to pop back up?
You're like, oh, mom. Yeah. But you have to be. And I think that, again, you were such a good example of that. Like I'm watching you and I'm like, dang, it's so easy to go into that space of just like, you kind of wallow and you're like, no, what's the word? I can't. where you're just like saying no, like, no, this isn't possible, that this is denial. And you're sitting there like, this is happening. Now let's hope for a miracle. Let's ask for a miracle. I'm not afraid to ask for a miracle. So it was cool for me to sit there and watch you, do that. And I liked Marianne saying, for those of you who don't know where to start when it comes to miracles, but you're open, that you can, she said, advice to those who don't know where to start, just ask where you want me to go, what you want me to have, what you want me to say, or what would you want me to say? And I think that's like, it's like a simple, remember that?
Oh, wait, I was doing this, but in my version, which I kind of told her a little bit about it, but with my mom, the way I think that the miracles channeled too, were I kept saying, God, show me what I need to do with her next. At every moment of crisis, I gave it up to God and said, show me what I need to do. Bring me whoever I need to meet to help us. And tell me what to do and I'll listen.
Well, remember when you saw, God, what was it? You saw something on her arm or her leg and you literally were like, okay, God, show me what to do. And you climbed on her and I forget what it was, but you found something that was like this total aha moment and shifted everything.
Yeah. I think it was, I wouldn't have seen the swelling.
So it was the swelling.
Yeah. So I kind of climbed into the bed and I was like, oh, I needed to see it from this perspective. When I was seeing her from the side, it was a different story than when I was seeing her like this. But
you were guided there and you listened to that.
Totally guided. Every step of the way, there was no coincidence. When I was like, let's look at this. So let's try this. And I just think that, people live in such a closed-minded way. And I think that just the little exposure that I've had because of the show to the concept of we don't use even 90% of our brain. So why not try? So it's funny. I am now remembering I was texting my cousin a week ago and I said, I know this is going to sound real freaky deaky to you because, this is all new to you, but I tapped in and I was doing a healing session on your dad and there was something in his right lung. I'm like, we have to ask what's in his right lung. Well, now we know he has pneumonia, but the one was okay. And the other one, I kept seeing a red X in it. And I was doing a healing thing on him, like I was doing with my mom, but I don't care if I look weird. I don't care if people think I'm kooky because I'm trying. And if there's a result that comes from it, great. If there's no result, great. Where's the harm in trying to access parts of our mind and consciousness and brain and powers to try to do stuff? I mean, you saw when we were able to get my mom to pass urine when she was blocked. Mm-hmm. And then I taught the caretaker and she was blown away when she did it. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not superhuman. I'm just trying. You try it. And then she did it. And she's like, holy moly, oh my God.
And that's a miracle right there.
And that's a miracle too. But we were open to trying. You got to be open and unafraid. And so, and I did. I've asked for guidance for myself, but I asked for guidance with my mom every step of the way. So no wonder she was a miracle. All the way to the end. That's so cool.
And continues to be a story, that everyone's learning from. She's always going to be a miracle.
Yeah. I really like the idea of talking to the Holy Spirit every morning. I'm going to do that every morning. I do too.
And it's so funny that it really connected with me. I'm not a super, would say I'm very spiritual, but I'm not religious per se. And it was wild. I had a session with Cindy Dale the other month.
No way.
She's literally a freaking angel on earth. They had after she came on, they had emailed me.
After she came on what?
Months ago, the show, and talked about chakras.
Okay.
And we were talking about my stomach stuff. And she was like, if you want, I would love to have a session with you. I was like, hell yeah. And we were talking about my grandma.
That wouldn't have happened on the Disney Channel.
Amen to that. That would not have happened on the Disney Channel.
I thought about that this morning. It popped up in my head again today.
Oh, I've literally been thinking, ever since we talked about it, I was thinking about it. All day. I mean, I've made the psycho incredible connections. I mean, even me listening to Marianne and getting to do the research on her and digesting her speaking now, it's just I'm growing like every second, every freaking second. Like I wouldn't even be able to understand half of what she was saying if I weren't here.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah.
So cool.
Grateful. It's so cool. So I was chatting with Cindy and I was telling her that I wanted to connect with my grandma. So we kind of did this thing and it was wild. And my grandma was super religious, like very religious. Always got mad at me. She didn't get mad at me, but she was like, you should go to church. I think it'd be good for you, for your anxiety. Because for her, it was just like a meditation, right? Anyways, so we did this thing where it's like, I saw hands and like behind those hands were like her hands. And Cindy was like, basically what she's saying is like, to talk with her, she'll help you if you go through God. And it was like the most, and I literally saw like big hands and then like her behind. It was like the most.
Damn, grandma's pushing it.
Truly. And it was funny because when I called my mom after, she was like, yeah, I mean, she always wanted you guys to go, you girls to go. So it could be your space of like space and, quiet. But anyway, so Marianne saying that to me today, I was like, I took that as, that was my reminder.
Yep.
We got to get back to cause I was doing it for a minute, like every morning, just a couple minute meditation where 3 minutes even. But anyways, that was my reminder to connect again. Cause
what kind of church did your grandmother go to? Catholic church?
Mm-hmm.
So there's one literally over on 1 block away from us.
No.
So I would tell you like on a Friday or whatever, just on your way out, just pop in.
I honestly might.
It's so nice. We've gone there. I'm not Catholic. I'm Orthodox. It doesn't matter to me. It's just church.
Yeah.
It's God.
Right.
And so you pop in, you say a little prayer, you talk to the Holy Spirit and go.
I might.
Violetta goes all the time.
I will. Because it really spoke to me. And I think you don't have to necessarily be, and that's what I love about Marianne. It's like, and you're the same way, Maria. You're not like pushing this on people, but it's just, it's something bigger to look to, right? To be your guide, to like help you along the way. Anyway, so I really loved that.
That's so cool.
And I'm going to go to church and I'm going to tell you guys all about it. Pop in.
Yeah. I think for me, I've always loved going to church, not because of like the religious part necessarily, but just how it makes me feel. And I just feel like, it's like you get to focus there on whatever spiritual things and religious things that you care about. It's like if you go to get a massage, you're not getting a massage on top of a car. You're going into like a quiet room with a candle.
Right.
And
Right.
So it's nice to have that. You don't always have to go, but when I go, I always feel really good. I feel like so filled and loved and yeah.
And you've
I think
meditated.
this Sunday I got to go to St. Nectarios.
Mm-hmm.
You can come to church with me if you want.
What's that? Okay.
Yeah. It's
That'll be
the
fun.
best church. I love it.
So fun.
Anyhow.
Well, that's one thing. Quick pause.
Yeah.
That's been keeping your dad. Like he goes religiously and like it fills him, at least what it seemed like every time he would come home, he would seem like so full and happy.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, my poor dad.
I know. Everyone, we all got to send collective love to Costa.
Oh my Lord, my poor dad.
I know.
I just like, it's like his dog, his wife, his brother before this. I mean, it's just been on like a really slow, long, painful like ride. And yeah.
It breaks my heart.
So Kevin sent me a picture yesterday of these like Yorkie puppies.
He
goes, we should get Papu a Yorkie puppy. I go, no, we shouldn't get him a Yorkie puppy. No.
Papu needs a baby goat.
He needs baby goats. And he's so excited about baby goats.
Yes.
So I think in the spring, it will be perfect. We'll get him some baby goats and we'll all get to enjoy them because there's no way we're getting baby goats without me being there to enjoy them.
Yeah, that's what he needs.
Hopefully I'm not allergic to them.
Nah, good point.
Anyhow, that is it for us today, everybody. I hope you open yourself up to the possibilities of miracles and let's all try to love more, love ourselves. So high five in the mirror, love thy neighbor, even if they're loud, even if they're shitty. By the way, we do have a policy here where there's no complaining. You cannot complain as a neighbor.
Oh, I like that.
And you know what happens? Love. Actually, if you really think about it, our neighbors always love us. They're always amazing to us. And So yeah, you have to put up with some shitty music once in a while and you're like, oh my God. But really, like, we can't get past that. We have to bitch and complain. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. We've never complained. And like I said, we've had such peace and such great relationships and great rapport. And everyone who moves out, because this one house, I don't know why everyone just keeps moving out. We think it's like cursed. They always regret it and wish they could be back here because they loved us as neighbors.
That's so fun.
So,
that's how it should be.
So buy somebody a coffee behind you and do something kind and try to lead with love. I think that's the message for today.
Amen.
Be nice people, make good choices, and be present.